So for the ones that have been tuning into my videos day after day, week after week, I trimmed my mustache, I shaved my beard, and you know, I don't know why I did that, cause I look goofy, but that's not what the video's about. I'm just letting you, like, updating the people that be tuning in every day, and it's not many of y'all, but you know, it's gonna be a lot of y'all soon. But let's get to the video. So let's be real, the phones rule the world. You know, I know, your mama know, and you may not want to admit it, but everybody is so far gone, so far deep into that phone addiction. To be honest, there's no coming back, and it's only going to get worse whether you like it or not. If you look around, you can just tell most people don't understand the problems these phones come with. So I wanted to bring awareness to this issue, maybe to change your mind, give you a different outlook on how these phones really be messing up our mind. You know, I think we can all agree that the phone has ruined us as a society. You know, we always talk about what countries are ahead in technology, who has the newest car, who has these electric cars, the newest phones. But we never talk about what countries are ahead in the divorce rate, the suicide rate, the depression rate. So let those thoughts sit with you for a second. You know, we always talk about what's next, but we never talk about the outcome it could bring. You know, it gets to the point where you look around, okay, maybe we have enough distractions. We have enough computers, we have enough TVs, we have a lot of drugs. You know what, let's just put it all into one little device that could fit in our pocket. We could walk, we could drive with it, we could plug it into our car, we could connect it to the house. You know, let's all put it in one. Let's invent man-made horrors beyond human comprehension. I'm gonna be honest, I think the cell phones might be the greatest invention of all time. It's up there with planes, it's up there with buildings. But now it's the best invention to demolish, to destroy, to hurt. But it's deeper than just shit happens. You know, social media has messed us up so much that we can't tell the difference between reality and what's in the phone. You know, a long time ago in 2008, I was probably like 4 or 5. And you know, I was blessed to have a PSP. You know, I would go to the store with it. I would walk around in the park with it. You know, I was playing till like 2 a.m. and I was like 5 years old off a PSP. And I didn't know that I was gonna like normalize everybody else to be addicted to a little cellular device. You know, yeah, it was fun. Yeah, I was playing GTA San Andreas. And correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't getting a PSP like luxurious? You know, not everybody could get one. And it's becoming a normal thing to say that life wasn't as enjoyable as it was when we were kids. But think about it. We go to the park now, listen to the new Drake song. We walk in the store while we're texting. We meet our new partners online through Tinder, Hinge, Instagram. And then we wonder why those relationships didn't work out, why we can't sleep. Why do I have social anxiety? It's because we forgot how to be human. But I'm not gonna sit here and act all perfect like I didn't have my own addictions, like I didn't have my own desires. Because I really had a bad phone addiction when my mind was racing, when I couldn't battle the thoughts in my head. Scrolling endlessly, day after day, week after week, staying up till 4 a.m., just scrolling through TikTok until the TikTok ad popped up that said go to bed. I'm pretty sure of a common symptom of a bad mental health state is phone addiction. Because the phone made it so easy to cope, made it so easy to get your mind off things for the little bit you're scrolling. So I understand why people went on that route of addiction. And not the route of drugs, because obviously, you know, drugs sounds way worse than a phone addiction. But is there really a difference? They both affect your life, they both can ruin your life. So what is the difference? My mental health state was so bad, I had to sleep with the TV on. I had to sleep with piano music. I had to sleep with the video playing because I couldn't handle the thoughts in my mind. It's almost like I could hear them before I fell asleep. And I remember I was scared of the public. I had to scroll through my phone while I was walking in public. I had to have headphones in while I was walking in public. I had to play the new Drake song, the new Future song, so I could help my anxiety. Like, what kind of thought process was I thinking? Over time, it made it worse. All I was doing was coping, trying to escape, instead of battling the fight head on. I understand battling addiction is not easy. You know, you have withdrawal symptoms, that's a real thing. Whether it's the phone addiction, whether it's drugs, I understand. But we simply don't try. We simply don't try to get off that phone addiction. We simply don't try to get off drugs. And we wonder why all these influencers, all these celebrities, they thrive off negativity. They thrive off us being negative. That's how they get paid. They're making money off us. You know, it's really crazy to think. People believe more in these celebrities, more in these politicians, more than they believe in themselves. All these people, they have never seen an alien, but they believe in aliens, but they don't believe in themselves. I know that sounds kind of goofy, it sounds kind of, you know, not serious, but really think about it. Put those thoughts in your head. You don't believe in yourself. You'd rather believe in a celebrity, you'd rather believe in their music, you'd rather live through them, live through the phone, just because you can't face yourself in the mirror. You know, somebody should make a study about this, but I think throughout the years, we lost the capability to love. We lost the capability to make a relationship. We lost the ability to create a family. When I scroll through social media, like the Instagram comments, when I scroll through Twitter, it's bad out here. The negativity is bad. You know, these celebrities, these politicians, they're thriving off negativity. They're thriving off us dividing away from each other. They're thriving off our own battles. And it's became so easy to brainwash a population with a different agenda. You know, they're brainwashing people with multiple agendas so we could fight each other. And all that did in the end was make ourselves a dollar sign for the people above us. But I'm gonna be honest, when I look through the positivity of social media, the likes, the shares, the views, it just can't compete with the negativity. The negativity, it's always going viral. It's always having 1 million likes. It's always having 100,000 comments of people battling with each other. We're really battling each other in comment sections. We're really DMing people, reporting people, all this cancel culture just because somebody else has a different belief. And people think fighting for what's right is battling somebody in the comment section. It's DMing somebody hurtful words because they don't have the same beliefs as you. It's ridiculous. It's sad. People are more intertwined with what's in their phone, more intertwined with somebody else's life through a comment section, through a video, all because somebody else told them to. All because that rich celebrity, that rich politician is thriving off our negativity. And all that did was put him in a position higher and higher every time while we get lower and lower. Because we're not bettering ourselves. You're too busy arguing on Instagram. You're not trying to get your life together. You're not reading a book. You're not learning any good information. It's all a psyop. It's all a distraction from trying to be our best version. And I know some things positive about social media can be twisted sometimes. Like those online gurus charging 10,000 for a course. You know, don't get me wrong, I do think there's some valuable online gurus that are worth 10,000, that are worth that relationship, that is worth that course. But majority of them, they're just scamming. So I understand why that side of social media gets a bad rap. I just had to throw that out there because I think business is a good side of social media. So obviously these phones give us access to social media. And we use the social media to fuel our pain, to fuel our insecurities. So there was this one girl in my class and we had a little thing going on. But of course, knowing me, we had a bad falling out. But we didn't remove each other on social media, you know, we still texted here and there. She would send me TikToks even though she had a boyfriend and shit. Anyways, I would be creeping on her social media a lot. You know, I would see she was always getting flown out. She was always at these dinners. She was always at these sections. And I'm like, dang, my life is getting worse while hers is getting better. She's living her life while I'm grinding in the trenches. I'm washing dishes at the fucking Chicken Express. I'm working at the worst shoe store of all time, tagging shoes, rigging up a rude customer, while she's out there with her mans or whoever having the best time of her life. And all it did was give me a sense of no hope. Not only did I think her life was getting better, mine was getting worse. I was so worried about somebody else's life other than mine. I was so worried about somebody else's life in a digital world, and I wasn't focused on myself. You know that saying, you ain't out in that field for real? Well, you not out in that field for real. We don't go outside. We don't enjoy the birds chirping. We are awakened by alarm, put on the same clothes, sit in the same traffic, go to that same job in an enclosed environment, seeing no sunlight, only artificial lights, staring at an artificial blue light device for hours. We don't wake up and put our feet in the grass anymore. We don't go outside and drink through the hose no more. I'm not saying do that, don't do that. That's actually kind of disgusting. But as kids, we were out there getting dirt on our hands. We were out there getting our clothes dirty. We were out there living life, breathing fresh air. And it's sad that it's becoming normal to avoid sunlight. You know, people call you a conspiracy theorist when you go outside and just sunbathe. People call you weird for putting your feet in the grass. They call you a conspiracy theorist. For me, one of my favorite feelings is just laying in the sun. Getting that suntan, getting that sun bath. We are meant to thrive under these circumstances. But the harsh truth is most of us are gone and there's no saving. You can't tell them nothing. They're only gonna get mad or they're just gonna ignore you. So don't let that be you.